Hey everybody, it's Monday night. It's Always Bookin Comedy. How we doing, Marty?
Hello, Mark Masters. I'm doing well. How are you, sir?
Good, buddy. Uh Marty, we met out in San Diego. What a hectic night that was. Do you remember that night when you were
I do. I do. It was a blur. That was actually funny because, like, what you saw as the hectic part of the night was the relief part of the night for me.
tell us the
Because up
backstory.
until, well, that point, you got to be there for the first show that we did in our new location at 750 Avenue in San Diego's Gaslamp Quarter, down in beautiful San Diego, California. And up until that point, a week earlier, we were around the corner at this large movie theater space that we had moved into and opened July 18th, 2024.
Just hey Marty,
Um,
just for background, we're talking about the yellow door.
I'm sorry, everybody.
National,
Mark,
yeah, yeah, it's okay. Marty
I
Dundics,
thought maybe you
everybody.
told everybody ahead of my chiming in of my credits
Yes,
and
yes, we ran a whole
how
intro
important I
video, but I think
am.
there was a glitch. So why don't you give somebody
There's a comedy club called National Lampoon, The Yellow Door. It is a fantastic comedy club with the wonderful brand National Lampoon adorned above it. We're very happy to be working with National Lampoon, legendary comedy brand National Lampoon, on this venture, bringing live comedy to our first location in San Diego, other locations hopefully to come soon: Los Angeles, Vegas, New York. I think Orlando is on the list. So right now we're in San Diego, and we've been kicking around there for like a year and a half. And we were in another location in this movie theater. We got this movie theater space that we moved into, and we launched there, and it's very big, vaultish,
how many seats?
cavernous, if you will.
How many seats?
Um, Supposedly we could fit, according to the fire department, 247, I think.
Okay.
Did we get that many in there? We got like 220 in there once, but it was the
Okay.
most uncomfortable show you could possibly imagine. Like, it was people on top of people, but that was a very interesting show. I'm gonna jump around, but that show was called the Ryan Meetup. It was a there was a group called Ryan Meetup Group, and these guys just organize events where they're all named Ryan, and they get together internationally, and they have these massive events where everyone's named Ryan, and they just get together and they say, "Hi, my name's Ryan. Hi, my name's Ryan." They're nuts. They're really funny guys. And our booker, Ryan Archuleta in San Diego, wanted to do this show, and he told us about it, and we're all like, "Dude, what are you talking about? This sounds bonkers. No one's gonna come. Who cares?"
So
He
the
did an
obvious
entire
question was, could you only book comics named Ryan?
Yeah. Oh yeah. We did a comedy weekend. We did a Ryan game show but the guys that came in, we were like, we said yes to him, and then we had no idea what to expect. These guys rolled in, and the guys doing their production, they do production for like American Idol, but they're named Ryan. Like, the guys that run this stuff are legitimate. Like, they are major market guys running major TV live events. So they came in with these huge crates, and they had like the lighting and the sparklers and the things exploding off the stage. It was remarkable. It was amazing. We had this big screen above the stage that you could project stuff on, and it was packed. That was the most people we ever had in the theater, was for the Ryan. Everybody in that theater, at that 200 plus, they were all named Ryan, men and women. We had female Ryans, and they were just packed like sardines because they didn't care. But that's the most we ever got in that theater. And
Can I
then,
ask a question? Who was the best
yes.
Ryan comedian that night?
Ooh,
Do you
that's a tough
remember?
one, Mark Masters. I would say definitely Ryan was the best.
Okay, maybe the
There was,
third
there is
Ryan.
a guy, I can't remember his last name, and he won because they voted. They had funniest
Oh,
Ryan, and
okay.
they actually had them vote, and they got an award. But they were all named Ryan. There were some legit LA comics that came down that were named Ryan. And they did. I mean, it was massive. And then they just did something in New York in December that made the news. And this guy, I guess he's the host of like maybe selling, not selling Sunset, but selling like
One of these real
Manhattan.
estate
One of these
shows.
Manhattan, like selling, flipping Manhattan or whatever. And his name is Ryan, and he did some crazy premiere for his show in Manhattan, and he just did a Ryan meetup event, and it was like they clogged the subways, they clogged the R train with just Ryans in Manhattan, and it was fun. So it was a really fun thing to do at Yellow Door in January. That was late January last year, and then we were there. The place, it was, you wanted to prompt me for some things that had funny that had happened, and the one thing that happened at that theater the same month as the Ryan thing was New Year's Eve, and the building itself was such a chaotic, multi-use building, many bars, many clubs, loud music, band of music, like party bar type atmosphere. And it was open air. We shared bathrooms, we shared hallways and elevators. So it was like we didn't really have our own space except for our theater. We had a door for the showroom, but our bar was in the common area kind of. So New Year's Eve that year, we had Craig Shoemaker doing two shows, and it was great. It was isolated in the theater, but the rest of the building was just an absolute madhouse, like insane lines to get in, wall to wall people. We were prepared for the mob, but like nothing can really prepare you for the amount of people that can be there on New Year's Eve. So our bar was jam packed, and in Sandy, and this is around the holidays, so we still have all the stupid Christmas decorations that we had done. And so we went over the top. We did very much. They wanted, for the Lampoon guys really wanted to do like a Christmas Vacation,
Mm,
disgusting amount of holiday decorations, which we
okay.
did. They were everywhere. We had lights everywhere. It was just obnoxious. I hated it. It was such a pain to take down and put up. So, but the thing about doing a big party anytime in probably a major city, but definitely San Diego, is on Halloween, on New Year's Eve, on any place that's going to be packed like that, you're going to have a chaotic place, and then all of a sudden, you're going to have all of these fire marshals enter your building
Oh,
with clipboards, and they're going to do a surprise inspection to see what they can bust you on in the next like hour, and then they'll say, "You have 45 minutes to fix this stuff, and we're going to come back. And if you don't have this fixed, we're going to shut you down." And that apparently that's what they do. I was new in the space. I didn't know anything about it.
where
So
are you from? You're not, did you grow up in San Diego?
no, I'm from East Coast. I'm from Maryland,
Okay.
and I had just spent 22 years in New York City. I was in Brooklyn. I lived and worked in Brooklyn my whole adult life, and then when we were gonna launch this comedy club, I went out to California to do that.
Okay.
So I'm very new to San Diego.
Okay.
I'm not familiar with the nightlife in San Diego, the Gaslamp area in San Diego. So it was just one of those chaotic things where you're at a club, you're having a nice comedy show, trying to keep Mr. Craig Shoemaker happy, nice audience, nice New Year's Eve. You gotta, you try to be as calm and collected as you possibly can, and then you close the door to be like, everything's fine, and then you're over here and everyone's screaming at you, and I was wearing like a tuxedo. I looked very disheveled because I was carrying garbage out of hallways and moving things down and throwing things into dumpsters and ripping down all of these disgusting Christmas decorations that were, everything's a fire hazard. Everything's a fire
Yeah, you
hazard.
can't
So
attach it to the
everything was a
wall.
fire hazard. We had to throw everything away, and then they came back, and we were fine. But then they closed the roof because it's separate business, but they closed the roof because they had too many people up there. So all the people stayed on our floor, and they weren't allowed to go upstairs, but they had paid for all you can drink tickets for New Year's Eve.
Ah,
So they expected us to honor their all you can drink tickets for New Year's Eve. But we're
ooh,
not going to do that, Mark.
no.
So we offered them, a hefty discount. They did not like it. And then at the same time, as the fire department and the angry patrons from upstairs, both of the bathrooms flooded and exploded.
Oh, jeez.
So we didn't have any bathrooms, and we had all this water coming out. So it was an interesting New Year's Eve.
This feels like National Lampoon's setting you up, and they have spy cameras
Yes.
everywhere, and it's going to be like a reality National Lampoon's
Yeah.
comedy club vacation movie.
I a lot of times I felt like, am I on a show? Like, is this a show right now? Is this National Lampoon's The Yellow Door, and we're just screwing with this poor sap? And
That's
and and someone's gonna be
incredible.
like,
I hope
just
you're taking
kidding.
notes, and we'll write a book someday.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be a great show. So that theater, the crazy businesses in the got a little chaotic, and that building lost all of their liquor license, and they got shut down by all kinds of different departments in San Diego. And before that happened, we moved out because of the chaotic building situation, and we found a new location around the corner, and that is the place where, when when we packed it up, we had 5 days till the next show, and it was a good show, right? It
Yeah.
was Bryson Banks,
Yeah, yeah. I
and
got it
he
there
sold
about
he sold
45
great
minutes early,
tickets.
and people were still drilling things into walls.
So we had this huge theater. We had all this stuff. We had the big, the yellow door and the signs and all the seats and the tables and shit. And we had 5 days to take this gigantic movie theater size thing, cut it down, pack it up, move it down the street, reinstall it in this space that is now it's 90 seats tight
Okay.
with a 6'7" ceiling,
Which is
right?
awesome, by the way,
Which is
for
great.
comedy.
But we went from a
Yeah.
movie theater,
Yeah.
and then we had this huge thing. Then we go to this thing, and it still works. The backdrop still works. The door still looks good.
It's gorgeous.
It's beautiful. I love it. It's a great little club, and the room's more electric. The laughs are better. All the shows have been better since we moved to the new space. So it's so nice that you got to experience that first show, because that first show was so exciting,
Yeah.
because the work that went into just that moment, like you saw it. Like we were drilling and like still arranging the seats and still like cleaning, because we had just like dragged it down the street, and we just made it. Like the audience that night was great. The show was great. The comics were all so funny. And you luckily had a pro camera, and you
Hmm.
took beautiful photos, because I haven't got a new set of photos of the new space. So all I have is the stuff that you gave me, which was awesome.
Great.
It's
Use
so
it.
good. The photos,
Run with it.
the
Yeah.
photos you took that night were so good, and the comics all did so well, and the audience was so wonderful, and they were laughing and they were photogenic. The photos you got of the audience look so great. So it's definitely helping us get the word out about the new space. And yeah, you got to come back down.
I'd love to. I love San Diego. It's a great place. Let's talk about Brooklyn a little bit. Like, tell me, like,
Okay.
I didn't know National. I mean, I guess it, fill me in on what you did for National Lampoon. Like, obviously, the movies are big. I don't know if they're like
When I was at
licensed
National
or.
Lampoon, I was at National Lampoon for like 13 years, mostly doing. I got a job there. I was in New York City. I went to Syracuse for college, and then I was an illustration major. So I was a painter and a drawer, and I worked for newspapers and magazines doing humor illustration. So I got to. I'm actually in my parents' basement right now, because I was here for the holidays, and I'm flying back to Los Angeles tomorrow. So I'm
Okay,
literally in my parents' basement, and this is a self portrait that I did when I was in college, and that's
that's great.
not the most flattering
Is
face.
that
I
watercolor? What is that?
This
Marker?
is gouache. It is a watery type. It's a water based paint called gouache.
Okay.
Um, but that was like, and then that was a self portrait I had to do for a class, and I actually turned that into a branded sticker that I put on like all of my stuff, and I put that on the top of my cap and gown in college, so my parents could see me from in the auditorium
Cute.
at
Yeah.
Syracuse. So I went to New York, and I worked for newspapers and magazines doing painting and stuff. And I remember I worked at Letterman. So I got a job at Letterman because I was waiting for a meeting at Mad Magazine on 53rd and Broadway. And I was sitting on like a fire hydrant waiting for my meeting. And it was at the Ed Sullivan Theater. It was where I was waiting. And across the street was the Mad Magazine. And somebody asked me if I wanted tickets to see Letterman that night. And I was
Look,
like,
look at
I would
this
love to
comment,
see.
Marty, from the internet, from North Carolina. I saw that portrait at Sotheby's going for a couple million. I love it.
Just yeah, email me. I'll make you. You can
You have
definitely.
it for
I
a
can
couple
make a.
100,000.
We
Real
can make a
discount.
deal. We can make a deal. Just yeah, some KFC coupons might get you that portrait. So I ended up working at Letterman because they asked me if I wanted tickets. I said I couldn't go to the show that night. But what is this job you're doing? And she was like an audience recruiter, and it was just you walked around, you saw people that maybe would be excited to be at the show, and then you give them tickets to the show. You see if they're fans. You give them like a trivia test. If they pass, they get two free tickets. And I was like,
If they fail, they also get 2 free tickets is the secret.
I want this job, right? This is an easy job. I can handle that job. So I got an interview for that job, and I got a job there, and I worked there for like 4 years. And then I met a
Cool.
bunch of comedy people in New York, and then one of them left and worked at National Lampoon around the corner, and Liba. And then they needed someone who was a graphic design type creative person. who was funny, and she's like, "Hey, we have a job opening." So I went over there and I got a job there. So I worked there from like '04 until like 2017.
This is the magazine, right?
It's a magazine, but by that time it became a website. It became a kind of a multimedia business. They had a TV network at that time called National Lampoon Network, and it was a college comedy network that was on, I think, like 600 colleges across the United States.
Cool.
So they would send programming, kind of like MTVU. I don't know if you remember MTVU back in the day, but they had that. They had like ESPNU, and so we would make TV shows. We would make a block of programming, and then colleges would say, "Yeah, we'll run this on our college TV network 4 hours a day or 8 hours a day or whatever," and then we would sell advertising against that programming, and then we make money. They get free programming. It mostly was like college shows. So there was like a show called College Town USA. There was a video game show. Like they were way ahead of the curve with a lot of this like reality stuff. Like it was like travel shows, cooking shows. So I did a lot of the graphic design, on air, off air, creative for TV programs
So,
out of the New York office.
so do you use those Letterman skills now that you run a comedy club? Are
Yeah,
you
this was like the worst thing ever, Mark. It was like I did all this work to build this wonderful career, and then I end up on the street of San Diego being like, tickets to a comedy show, free tickets tonight, please come to my comedy show,
audience
and like,
recruiter?
yeah, I was, and I'd be
I
like
did. I
banging it
mean,
out.
Marty, I run 75 shows a year and 2 festivals. Let me tell you, I'm out there barking. I am trying to get
Yeah,
butts in seats.
and you're trying, and like you try to teach other people like how to convince people without being like, scary on the street. Like
Right.
you have to act like you don't want it too bad. Like you have something that they
Yeah.
want. Be like,
Yeah.
hey, I got a great show. You
Yeah.
don't want
I,
it?
I was
Okay,
just in New
you don't
York
need it.
City and the Times Square, you got all the people barking, and I felt so
Oh
that's
yeah.
a tough. There's just so much to do there, and
Oh yeah. We would have a lot of because other people, people that were looking for audiences for all of these TV shows would be in the same area as me. Other comedy clubs and stuff who just wanted audiences. So we had different blocks around Times Square that would be like, this is where,
your
like
turf.
at, yeah, like this is where the Conan O'Brien people are. This, you know what I mean? So we had areas and other people wouldn't go there because that was their
Yeah, you
spot.
get beat up.
Yeah, I mean, other people just didn't, other comedy clubs, like that's where Broadway Comedy Club goes to, recruit. That's where, and I would be like, because we like work in pairs, and I would always say that this is my corner office, but it was just the street corner, Mark.
Right. That's great.
And these are my coworkers, and it would be like they were like these. There's like this. There's a homeless newspaper. I don't know if it still exists in New York, and these guys would be selling this homeless newspaper. It was like a real newspaper that it
Yeah,
was
I've
a
seen
way for
them
them to
in
make
different
money.
cities. Yeah.
So they were just, and they'd be selling the homeless newspapers. It was like me and the homeless guys were like competing for
I
clients.
remember the first time I saw one of those guys accept a credit card because you always would just say, "Oh, I don't have any cash, sorry," and then it was like,
We
"Well, I
take
got you
tap.
now, sucker."
Yeah, we take tap. You can Venmo me now.
Yes.
And you're like, okay, that's fine. So
Oh
yeah,
man.
so I ended up doing that for a long time, and I ended up we did the magazine website and publishing a lot of great comedy, great humor, cartoons, and then the company was sold, and I didn't have anything to do with myself for a bit, so I started my own company called Humorist Media, and I did pretty much the same thing. I did humor publishing. I had some podcasts, and I was doing some live show production in New York City, and I published books. So there's a magazine called Weekly Humorist, which you can go to weeklyhumorist.com, and that has daily humor and cartoons. A lot of New Yorker people, a lot of old Mad Magazine people, and McSweeney's writers.
Oh, I
Um,
loved Mix. Is McSweeney still around?
mhm.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
I love McSweeney's. I haven't read it in
oh
a
yeah.
couple years. I should go check it out.
Oh, it's very good. It's like that's how and I still publish Weekly Humorist, and that's how I find out what's happening in the news. Is it's the stuff you get that's making fun of the news,
Yeah.
are the articles that I get or the cartoons that I get. So I'll get something, and be, a topic that I'm not familiar with, and I'm like, oh, like what did I miss? Like what happened? Why is everyone making this joke all of a sudden? And then I'll look it up and I'll get filled in because
Yeah.
the kids are a little bit quicker with what's happening.
That's
So
like
I'll
me
find
going to an
out.
open mic.
Yeah,
I learn new words. I learn
yeah,
all the trends that are
yeah.
going on. I'm too old now. All right, we got a question now. Basically, what are some of the positive benefits of barking, if there are any?
Um, I don't know if there are any. I think you have to be really a people person. You have to care about communicating, and you can't just like, I feel like with barking, the secret of barking is, and this is what someone at Letterman taught me when they trained me. Someone's walking by, and you don't want to talk right at them. You don't want to talk to them right in the face. You want to say something as they're walking by, and it lands in their ear. As they're walking by, it lands in their
Mm,
ear. They walk another 5 steps, and then they talk to maybe their partner, or they think to themselves, and then they turn around, and then they come back to you. And that's
that's
the
when you
way
got
you
him.
bark. That's how
Yeah.
you bring them in. It's not, I'm going to get in front of you and I'm going to stop you and I'm going to say, you have to listen to me, because that doesn't work. You have to say something as they walk by. You say, hey, I got free tickets to an 8 o'clock show, so and so from so and so and so and so. I got Netflix. We got Comedy Central tonight, 8 o'clock, full bar, happy hour,
That
full menu. And then
yeah,
someone's like, because you know what they are out there. There are a bunch of people out there looking for something to do. And they
right,
don't know, they don't have plans, right?
right.
Because they're wandering around. So if you're out there and it's like a Friday and it's 7 or it's 8 or it's 9 or it's Saturday, they're wandering around looking for something to do, and you have something for them to do.
Yeah.
So it's about making that offer and being like, I have it. I
That is
have the thing you're looking for. It's right inside. You're gonna have a great time. Because with comedy, as long as it's a good show, you're
yeah.
selling happiness. You're
Yeah.
selling
The
a good
dopamine hit
time.
of laughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're giving people something to sit and laugh at for 90 minutes. They get to forget about their problems. They get to
Mhm.
just relax and laugh, and they get that it's like it's chemistry, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it'll
There's a
make
lot
you
of
happy.
science. I have a corporate talk that I give about the health benefits of laughter. It increases your white blood cell count. It reduces your blood pressure. There's all kinds of benefits to laughing. That's really good advice about the barking, which I
Hmm.
will use in the future to kind of like let them go by. And if they swivel, then you got them hooked.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Like don't be pushy,
Hmm.
but be like steady. Don't seem
Yep.
too eager or desperate.
Hmm.
Um, you can always see if there's a couple, they'll stop, they'll talk, and
Yeah.
then they'll turn around.
Yeah.
Or like one person will want to go and the other person's like, I don't really want to go. I don't want to
So
go because if I sit, they're gonna make fun of me. They're gonna
yeah.
make fun of me, Mark. And they might. But I always say they're absolutely not gonna make fun of you. I swear. No one's gonna say anything to you. They're gonna have a great time. And then I'll put them right in the front row. I'll be like, because seating, because I end up going in there and I'm seating.
Hmm.
You need to seat the front. So many
Yeah.
clubs or people, they let them sit wherever, or you gotta seat the front, because if the front's not full, the show's not going to be good.
Right.
So you need those people in the front. They're very important.
Yeah.
So from
You,
the TV side I'm always, I need, I've got 2 seats that I've been saving for you guys, and I've been looking for the right people for them. And you guys are just attractive enough that I need you up here. And they're like,
right.
oh, that's so nice. Oh, we think, and they like it usually. There's always a couple of people where I'll try to get them to sit down, and they're just like, no,
Yeah. You know what I
no.
tell them? Here, you can have this one. If I'm trying to get them to sit in the front row, I say, actually, from the stage, it's the second row people because of the angle from the comic that are going to get picked on the most. So if you're in the
Yeah,
front row, you're safe.
yeah.
It's not always true, but it is.
No, no, it's not true at all. It's like saying, if you sit up front or if you sit in the second row, at the Gallagher show, the watermelon's not going to hit you. It's gonna
Yeah,
it's
I'm
gonna
usually
hit you.
producing the show, so sometimes I'll tell a comic, look, the lady in the glasses in the front row, just don't talk to her. Do me a favor and don't talk to her. I promised her nobody would talk to her. And a lot of time, like I don't know how it is at your club, but a lot of the people that I book, they're doing material. They'll talk to the audience a little bit, but they're mostly doing material. So
Right, right,
when
right,
I
right.
tell
They
an
want,
audience that look, you're probably not going to get talked to, it's true,
yeah,
especially on like shorter showcase spots. Like
Yeah.
people want to tell their jokes. They don't want to
Yeah.
ask somebody where they can go to a bar later and ask somebody
Right.
where they're from. So
Yeah. They've got 12 minutes. They want to get through these things. They've
yeah,
worked really hard on it.
yeah,
They want to tell their jokes. Like only
exactly.
if they get completely sidelined
Yeah.
do they really hop off.
Yeah. So
But
I got a question for you. So
mm,
you are essentially a startup. You started a comedy club, and you
yeah.
might be expanding into other markets. What have you learned at the Yellow Door in San Diego? Like what are a couple top things that you've learned that you will bring to another market if you open in a new market that will save you some heartache and energy?
I think the thing that everyone's trying to crack is marketing effectively on social media, right?
Okay.
You know, everything matters, right? It's not just Instagram, it's not just Facebook, it's not just email blasts, but it is all of those things. So I think when we started, I didn't know enough about all the different things you have to constantly do. It's never just one thing. There's no magic bullet to marketing. It's
Right.
like you have to do everything
Yeah.
because you never know what thing is going to be the thing that really works that week.
Mhm.
Maybe other people have dialed it in where all they do is have one ad and they can push that one button and everyone just jumps
Oh,
in.
I wish that
I
was
don't have
true.
that, right?
Yeah.
I don't have that. It's like I can't fall asleep on any of the things. You have to do and you have to do it very consistently. It has to be exactly the same time pretty much every week. You have to, you have to do a big email blast the beginning of the week or on Sunday. What do you have coming up this week? All the shows have to be promoted. And you have to do that again on social media. And then you have to do it again maybe on Thursday. And then you do another one maybe on Friday. And if you're really kind of low or you want to really you do like a 50% off or we're giving away some tickets, Saturday morning, you hit them again. So I think I had never marketed as much on anything as I have now after doing Yellow Door show marketing. Like in New
Yeah.
York, I
Well,
did a show. Well, no, in New York, I did a show called Guaranteed Delivery, which I love doing. It was so precious to me. And I would spend so much time organizing one show a month, Mark. I would
okay.
spend so much time on this one show a month. And then I and then I went to San Diego and I was producing 4 shows a week. And you're just like, how can I possibly keep doing this when doing one show a month was driving me kind of crazy and I was so stressed about the audiences and I don't want to be too pushy. And then
Yeah.
you go out and you're doing 4 shows a week and you're like, I'm going to be as pushy as I'm going to be.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how it's not as pushy as you think, you know? You're not
Huh.
really being that annoying because
Yeah.
people only pay attention to like a percentage of what you're
Yeah.
pushing at them anyway. So what
Yeah.
seems like 200% to you is like 3% to them because they only catch so little in this
Right.
world of constant, scrolling on Instagram. So I think that's the thing that I've learned for the next. Like when we start doing like Los Angeles or Vegas, it's going to be like so hard, like so much, harder, faster, more organized, very targeted. Um, really getting the talent, getting the talent to market their own shows is
Oh,
harder than you think.
it's way harder. I mean, the reality is a good comic is doing 10 shows a week, if not more.
Right.
And it's not, I didn't realize this when I started that you can't just ask a comedian to push your show
Right.
because they're doing tons of shows.
Yeah,
So
they're like, I got Des Moines. I need to
yeah,
sell 80 tickets in Des Moines in 2 days. What are you talking about? I don't care about your thing in 4 days. I got this thing in 2 days.
yeah,
Bother me in 2 days, and I
right.
get it. So
Yeah.
you have to give them the tools to share, to repost for your thing. So
Oh,
it's all
nice.
about on social media.
Make it easy for them.
Yeah, you got to feature them. You got to tag them. You got to give them this is the link. This is the link. Please put it in your link tree or whatever.
Mhm.
So people can really find it and get there. You have to make things so easy and clear for audiences to find where the show is and when it is and be in front of them. So I've been trying, it's all about trying new things. Um,
And San Diego is a unique market in a gas lamp because how many comedy clubs are within a 5-minute walk of you?
Also something I didn't know when we opened in this location, Mark Masters, I was like, oh, when Oh, there's a comedy club a half a block away over here. There's a Laugh Factory. Oh, is that true? Oh, next to the Laugh Factory, there's another comedy club that's been here for 18 years. Oh, okay. Oh, a half a block that way is the number one comedy club in San Diego. Oh, isn't that nice? Oh, so we're in the middle of all of the comedy clubs. But it actually has been sort of nice because there's always comics around. So
Ah,
there's so much talent always flowing from this block to this block to this block and back again. They all hang out. Everyone knows each other. It's a really great comedy community in San Diego. So if you ever need to fill or you need a showcase or you need anyone to go up and do 10 minutes, you always can find a very high quality comedian in about 10 minutes who is going to be about 20 feet away from your club at any given time. So that's been great. There's a lot of audience in San Diego because of the it's a very very packed convention center, vacation weekend, bachelorette, bachelor party type spot. It's very like New Orleansy. It's very Bourbon
yeah,
Streety. So it has that kind of amount of tourism. So the people that we're getting, a lot of them are locals, but many are not. Many are people who are just coming in. So it's not like there's too many. There's a lot of comedy clubs, but there's also a lot of audience. So that's
right.
great. It's a lot like, in New York City, there's tons of people.
Yeah,
In San Diego, there's tons of people to get into your audiences. So you can always bark people in on a weekend. If the weather's nice, we had some rain recently, but the weather's typically always nice. It's always
yeah.
easy to get people from outside. So that's great.
That's amazing.
Other cities I'm not sure about. Like Vegas, I'm hoping is going to be a place where there is going to be a lot of just people wandering around. Los
Yeah,
Angeles is not going to be like that. So we're not going to
yeah,
be in a situation where we can just get people, shovel them into your club. No. So we're going to have to be able to be very mindful about selling tickets ahead of time in certain places. Like I think Vegas, we're going to have to sell tickets ahead of time. We're going to have to be in the hotels. Something that we need to do more of in San Diego is being in the hotels, being in the convention center,
okay,
working and getting a lot of like flyers and leave behinds that they have mounted there, like being in the airports. Something
right,
that we need to be in. We need to have these like, these brochures in the airports, right by where all like the what are you going to do in San Diego? You got to
right.
go to the yellow door. So that's
Yeah,
the kind of stuff we didn't know going in, all of those things, and now we do.
yeah. Let me hit you with one last question, and we gotta wind this down. Without giving any names, tell me a crazy comic story. Like you are the manager of the comics, or you're giving them work. So it's a little different than a typical episode where I'm
So
talking to a
something happened.
comedian.
I won't name any names.
Okay,
Something happened where somebody somebody was producing a show who was also a comedian, and the audience wasn't huge, right? Wasn't huge,
okay,
and but he was a comedian. And then later on, another comic went on stage, and I've seen many comics at many clubs they'll make a joke about the audience size. Oh,
hmm, yeah,
can't
yeah,
believe I got out of bed for this. But they're just making a joke. They don't they're not being mean, but they're just being a personality that they're playing on stage.
yeah. And it's what they're observing in the
It's
moment.
totally fine.
Yeah,
It's totally fine. So this comic makes a joke like, oh, I can't believe. And the guy that was producing the show, who's also a comic on the show, starts screaming at the comic, "Oh, you don't think there's enough people out here? Well, maybe you should have brought more people in here." Blah, 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 blah. I'm just like, is this guy yelling at this guy in the middle of the set? And he was. And it was just like, huh, that's interesting.
That's
And
great.
it ended up just being a story to tell, and the
Yeah,
night didn't fall apart. It was oddly enough, it was fine. The weird thing is, Mark Masters, is so many things much worse than what I just said there have happened at this club, and we just keep rolling forward, and it just feels like you're in a television show,
that's all you can
Like,
do
can't believe that
sometimes.
just happened. Let's just keep going forward and never talk about that again. Can't believe that happened either, but we're going to keep moving forward and
Yeah,
hope it gets better. But
it's
um, it's just fun, It is
yeah.
it's working. The location of a comedy club is so dramatic. It's such less. It's a dramedy. It's
I was just gonna
so
say something
it's
about
so much
that.
less funny than it is gripping. Like
Yeah,
I've never had more drama in my life than working at a comedy club.
I know I could tell in just a couple minutes watching you in the middle of all this drama and pressure, but a huge smile on your face. Like you
Yeah,
like this stuff. You're uniquely
yeah,
suited to be in that role. So I hope you
I
get to
do
open
like
a
it.
couple more clubs and become a
I
real
feel
tight
very
knit.
much they need like a Kermit the Frog character in the middle of the chaos, and I've always put myself in that position, and I kind of just like let it kind of wash over me, like this. Like I feel comfortable being around all the craziness, but
Yeah,
I try to keep myself as boring as possible.
that's great. So Marty, if people are visiting San Diego, California, and they want
Yeah.
some great comedy, where do they go?
There's a lot of places to go, but I'm going to send them to my club.
Okay.
So they should go to National Lampoon, the Yellow Door. That's
Okay.
NL Yellow Door on all platforms, nlyellowdoor.com. Check it out. Go to a show. We have a whole schedule that's all the way through Comic-Con weekend, which is the biggest weekend in San Diego, which is in mid-July. We've got Jennifer Sturger, who's very funny, very beautiful, has tons of Comic-Con cosplay stuff, and she's bringing a whole bunch of talented comedy friends from Los Angeles down to for I think a whole weekend of shows for Comic-Con. So that's going to be in July, but from now until July we have a full schedule. So check out the schedule online at
Amazing.
nlyellowdoor.com.
Is there a website?
nlyellowdoor.com, and
And
then and then you click on San Diego. So it's nlyellowdoor.com/San Diego.
perfect. Marty, you're the best. Thanks a lot. Anything else you want to share before we shut this down?
No, that's it. I'm excited. I
Okay,
want to
stick
hear more
around for a
about
second.
your comedy
Festival?
festival,
Yeah, let's
comedy
talk.
festival.
Yeah, Vail Comedy Festival, everybody. May 22nd through 24th, 2026, vailcomedyfestival.com. We got the headliners on the website, except you don't know who they are. We only have the credits listed right now, but in the coming weeks, we're going to reveal them. 4 incredible headliners. It's going to be a great time. We have Mountain Fresh Comedy Festival in October. Check out vailcomedyshow.com. We got all kinds of stuff. Stick around, Marty. Everybody have a great week. Thank you.